Well, hey folks, Sty here. I got a day off from work. I didn't think that was going to happen. Seems like I've been working just steady, so I'm just not getting out like I want to. And so I got one day off. It's Monday. Actually, I like having a Monday off. I can get some business things out of the way and the rest of the day is mine. But I had a list a mile long of things I had to get done today. And this morning I told myself, hey, no, today is going to be Sty's Day. So I'm out here just beating around in the backwoods. I'm in the truck just cruising the what we call the barrens up here. And there's a few little remote lakes that I want to check out today. I got a new fishing rig, a collapsible fishing rig that I can easily pack. I can throw it in my backpack or my day pack and head into the woods to some of these lakes that are off the beaten path where I got to hike into them. So I'm going to scout out some lakes today. And I've got a week in September, the week right after Labor Day. I've got that whole week off. So in that week, I want to do a lot of things outdoors. I want to just get out there, do some hiking, some fishing, some metal detecting. I bought a metal detector. I was going to bring that out today and play with it, but then I thought, no, I'm going to spend the whole day just roaming around, scouting things out of what I want to do during that full week in September. So I thought I'd bring you guys along today, and I'll show you I'll take some shots at the lakes that I go into. But I pulled over in this spot here because I saw a small group of deer over here, and I was going to film them. But by the time I got my camera equipment out, they just wandered back into the woods. So I missed that opportunity. That'll teach me, keep your camera out when you're out here in the woods, So, but that's what Sty's up to today. Just out scouting. Sty's a scouting. So you're all welcome to tag along, and we'll go check out some of those lakes and see if they're even worth hiking into to get a line wet and see if we can catch some fish. And I figure if I can go into some of these lakes and catch myself a couple of nice panfish, I'll do a shore lunch and just spend a day fishing and eating nice fresh fish right there by the lakeside. And so that's what my plans are in September. So I'm going to head down the road a little bit more, and I'll pick up with you guys in a little bit. And thanks for tagging along. So I'm out of here. Well, here's one of the lakes. It's only a few hundred yards off the road. You can see they logged over on the west end of this lake. It's not a very large lake. Maybe a couple acres or so. Hard to see, but looks like there's a few areas you can get kind of close to the water's edge. The thing is here, if you want to do any fishing, you're going to get your feet wet. There's water right up to the shoreline here, and then all of this swamp grass growing in here. But the main body of the water is nice and open. It's not all weed ridden. It's really hard to say what might be in here. I suspect that if there's any fish in here to speak of, it would be panfish, probably sunfish. maybe a few bass. Nice little lake. I can hear a hawk over on the opposite shore screeching. It's a nice little lake. You wouldn't even know it was down in here from the road. I'll show you how I got in here. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty thick in here. Weaving and ducking under a lot of trees. But believe it or not, there's actually a trail. And here's the trail. And the trail looks like it heads out around the north side of the lake, going through the woods there. I might take a little walk up in there. But this is where I actually, right through all this brush and timber, is where I came down through from the road. And like I said, it's a good football field or more from the road. Looks like there's a spot here, be easier to navigate back up through the woods to get out. But up by the road, there's a lot of blowdowns. And then I found this. Somebody had a fire pit here at one time. So they were camping in this little spot. Not a lot of room, but if somebody throws up a little tarp shelter, a hammock in the trees here, or maybe a little pup tent, yeah, I can see that they would camp here. Plus I see horse droppings. There's horse droppings here. So someone's been down here with their horse. And then the trail continues up this way. And I did not see this trail when I came down the road, so I'm going to walk this trail up. And I'll bet you I'm just right up on the road up here. Because the road kind of curves, so it probably comes out right at that curve, and I didn't see it. And now I'll remember it for getting down in here next time I come out this way. Be a nice spot to have a little stealth camp. Oh yeah, this brings me right out where that curve was. It's part of the horse trail, I think. Yep, there's the road. There's the curve in it. And a trail sign, no ATVs. Well, as grown in as this is, there's been nobody down in there for a long time. So I just got to remember where this spot is. I never realized this came into that lake. So, okay, it's time to move to the next one. I don't even know if that lake's got a name or not. But that's the main road. And that's where I parked, way up there. And I went from my truck down into the woods. Like I said, it's a good football field down to the lake from there. This direction, it's half the distance. So if I pulled my truck into this spot right here at the trailhead, I can hike down there. It's only 125 yards maybe. So, okay, let's move on to the next lake. Well, here we are at the second lake. This is a nice little lake in here. Not sure about the depth. Now, I was told by an old fella that's a local that this lake has panfish in it, sunfish and bass. I wouldn't be surprised if it's deep enough. Again, it's the type of lake where you're going to need to get your feet wet. If you're not willing to get your feet wet, you probably don't want to be trying to fish in this one. Nice and peaceful back here. Now over here, and I'd have to walk around the shoreline here, but there's an open spot back in there. And I'm thinking that'd probably be a pretty sweet campsite. I'm thinking I'm going to hike around there and then go from there back up to the road. Now getting down in here is a real bummer. It's just like the other lake, except this has got such a steep embankment from the road coming down in here that, yeah, coming down with a lot of gear on your back would be kind of troublesome. But I think this would be a really sweet little lake to come and spend the day at. So this one goes on my list as high probability that I'll come back in here and maybe try to do a little fishing. But I'm going to hike over to that little opening back there and see what that's like. And I might catch you there. If I don't catch you over there, then I'll catch you at the next lake. Okay, folks, let's move on. Well, here we are. We're still at the same lake. This is the second lake today. Different view. I'm up on the north end of the lake. Where I was filming earlier was right over there. No, it was over here a little farther. And I was looking straight over here to this open area. And as you can see, this is real open here. I can actually fish from the bank line here without even getting my feet wet. When I first walked up, I saw some sunfish schooled over here, but the minute I walked up here, off they went into that grass. So they're in here. There's some sunfish in here. The lake must be deep enough that it doesn't freeze solid over the winter, right to the bottom. That's usually what kills the fish population off. And I see a lot of topwater activity, and I suspect that's the sunnies coming up to the top, or it's turtles, one of the two. But again, like the other lake, I climbed down this embankment over here, all the way down that embankment, and it's a steep bugger. And I came back through, I'm having trouble seeing through my viewfinder, but over here there's a down birch. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a down birch there. The tops of it are there. That birch goes all the way up to the road. Now that bugger had to have been close to 50 feet tall. I had to climb that birch. I had to get up on it and do a balancing act all the way up to the road. And then at the end of it, it had uprooted, had been blown over, and it's all sugar sand. So I climbed up over that, and I ended up with both of my hiking shoes packed full of sugar sand and gravel. So that wasn't so nice. But, like the other one, I went the hard way down into the lake, and here I find out, see, it's nice and open right here. I find out, look there, there's an old access road that actually comes down to the lake, but it doesn't look like anybody's been using it. You can just see the nose of my truck up there. Maybe 200 feet. 200 feet from the road, but you can't see the lake from the road. So that's why it doesn't look like anybody's been in here forever. But someone's been in here with their horses. Again, a bunch of horse droppings. This area is heavily used by the horse enthusiasts. So that's not surprising to see that someone was down here with their horse. Be a nice watering hole for them. But yeah, I think this lake is worth trying. Try to get a bite or two out of this lake. So we're going to move on to the third lake for the day. So hang tight, folks. We'll get moving on. I'm walking down an old trail here. It's an ATV trail, I guess. You could get through here with an ATV. This is kind of hiking that you know, it's easy walking, but underneath everything here, it's all sugar sand, and a lot of horse traffic through here. I can see a lot of horse pucky all over the place, so you want to watch where you're walking so you don't step in any fresh stuff. But I was told that there's a little lake at the end of this trail. That's where I came in. The truck's parked down at the end down there. But looking at this, looks like other than horse traffic, there hasn't been anybody in here with ATVs. There's no ATV tracks at all. Beautiful woods in here. So hiking back here is worth hiking, whether I find a lake back here or not. But I'm going to hike in, see what's back here. Just something to do. So if I find something unique back in here, I'll let you folks know. Another thing I noticed is it's full of birch. So I'll keep my eyes open for some winter shaga hunting. So we'll catch you folks later down the trail. By golly, there is a little lake back in here. You can see it down through the trees. It's not very large. Doesn't look like there's a lot of weeds in it though, so it's probably deep. Could hold some panfish, I don't know. I'm going to hike down the hill here. As you can see, the forest floor is pretty clear. It's all pretty much so just ferns. So it should be an easy hike down in there. And we'll take a look at this little lake. So that's where we're headed, folks, down there. I hope. Okay, let's head down. Well, here's the lake. Lake number 3 for the day. This is a nice little lake. It's only about 1.5 acres. But looking at it, I'm going to have to look at the satellite images of this lake and the topos to see how deep it is. But it looks to me like it's a really deep lake. The clarity isn't bad at all, but it gets just almost coal black out here in the center. It's like a huge deep hole in it. So I'm suspecting it's rather deep. I see some lily pads over here, just a few of them. And then there's a patch right here. So it's like there's a mound underwater in that spot and in that spot. And then it's deep right down the center with a big hole right here. So I think it would definitely be worth hiking in here with the fishing rod and see if I can get anything to bite in here. And the nice thing about it is there's kind of open meadow area back in here. Lots of space where a person can set up a day camp or even spend the night if they want. These birds are going crazy. What are they? They look like a cardinal, but there's not a single red one, so they're not cardinals. They're like, they're real colorful. They have, they're brown, tan, they've got red, and they've got yellow. I'm hoping to get one to land. They were landing on these branches over here. I'm hoping to get one to land again. Get a better close-up of them. There's one on that branch. I don't know if I can get them. And then I'm shaky as can be, so. But there he is. If anybody knows what they are, let me know. It would be nice to get one to land close. They were earlier, but they sure like that one bush. They just keep landing on this bush here. Wish I wasn't so shaky. Should have brought a tripod down with me and just set the camera up. And haven't a clue what they are. But like I said, they look just like a cardinal, except they're the wrong colors. They look like female cardinals. But there's got to be 20 of them flying around here. And so why would there be 20 female cardinals? I don't think so. So there's something else. I'll try to look them up. My mother was such a bird lover. All she'd have to do is see one for a second. She'd tell you exactly what kind of bird it was. And I was never good at identifying certain birds. Common birds, real common birds, yeah, but not something like these. Well, this video's gotten much longer than I thought it would, but yeah, I found myself another little lake I want to check out here. I'm gonna definitely wet a line in this one, see if there's anything living in it. It might just be full of turtles for all I know, but hoping there's some panfish in here. But there we go. I'm going to head out to the truck and we'll see you folks there. I just wanted to show you folks on my way out from the lake here that someone's been down in here and they've been pretty busy. You can see these birch right here. There's one right here. And there's more up on the hill, right back in there. But you can see they've been girdled. Someone in here collecting birch bark for canoe making or other crafts. Now, technically, only the Native Americans are supposed to be allowed to do that. So I suspect, oh, there's a big patch of them back there. But I'm seeing so many. I found this game trail coming up from the lake. I wish I would have known it was there when I came down. And it's a heavily used game trail, which doesn't surprise me. I'm sure every critter in the woods is using this game trail to get to that lake for watering hole. But yeah, this is a really interesting area back here. Looking at those birch trees, they were girdled quite a long time ago. They look like about 3 to 4 years with the heavy brown bark already grown in place. It does permanently scar the tree. It doesn't kill the tree, but it does permanently scar it. Now, as you can see, this opens right up. Got this nice stand of pines in here. And it opens right up. And there's a big meadow over here. I can tell there's been a little bit, like I said, some horse traffic. But right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's the game trail. And it comes right into this clear cut up here, into the meadow. And I bet you this meadow's full of deer at night. I want to take a little walk through the meadow here. I mean, the fact that there isn't a single stump in this meadow makes me believe this was once a homestead. Hard to know. Hard to know. But as you can see, it's a quite large meadow up here. I'm surprised that I haven't found a fire pit from people camping. People usually take advantage of meadows like this for camping purposes. Now right over here is, it's hard to make out, but I can see an ATV track there, which there shouldn't be because that's the horse trail. It runs through that way. Doesn't go down to the lake, but it runs past here. So that's how they're getting down to the lake, is they come to this meadow and then they head down to the lake down this direction. But yeah, surprising that there's not a single fire pit. There's so much stone laying on the surface. It'd be easy to put a fire pit together. So that's it, folks. I'm going to head down to the truck and then I'll say goodbye when I get there. See you at the truck. Well, folks, that's it for today's outing, for the video at least. I have one more lake that I'm going to go check out that I've been to before, and I did a video about that lake. I don't know if I'll do another video there today or not. Probably not, because I will be going back to that lake with my fishing rod. And I hope to do that within the next couple weeks. So I'm going to hit that lake on one day. And then I'm going to come back and hit these 3 lakes that I was at today and wet my line a little bit. See if I can catch anything. It's kind of iffy. I got to put my sunglasses on, folks. It's sunny. And sky's not too bright. I don't know why I took them off in the first place. But, yeah, it's about 84 degrees, and the humidity's not bad today. Not working up too much of a sweat, so that's good weather. But it was fun. It was fun. I got to see 3 lakes today that I have never been into before. And all 3 of them were nice lakes. So it'll be interesting to see if they produce any fish. And whether they do or not, I always carry a sandwich with me in case I don't catch anything. And I can still have lunch by the lake. So, so that's it for today's video. I'm glad you folks tagged along. It's always good having you folks tagging along. So I feel like I'm out here hiking with y'all. So until the next time, this is Sty, as always, saying you all have a really, really nice day. Okay, bye-bye.